Hello everyone and welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. Today we're going to be talking about The Little Mermaid, directed by Rob Marshall, remake of the 1989 classic Disney animated film.
By the same name.
Yes, we did an out of the theater review reaction, but now we're going to kind of go deeper into our thoughts about the movie here.
Yes.
And there will be spoilers, although I will be honest, there's not much to spoil, so if you haven't seen the movie, I feel like unless you are like desperate, like don't want to know a single thing about the movie, I feel like you'd be pretty safe watching this because they only change a couple things.
Yeah, and most of them are additions that aren't really crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of it's pretty much just beat for beat.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. So, off the top,
yes,
I like the little pirate opening scene a lot. As soon as I saw pirates, I was like, more of this.
I'm in.
I just like pirate shit. And I thought that the actor's name who plays Prince Eric is leaving me. But I thought he did well, that we kind of get an introduction to him. And
It's like Jonah King Hauer or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Are you on it?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
He's on it, folks.
Jonah Hauer-King.
That was close. Yeah.
All right, I'll take it.
But yeah, no, I thought he was great. There are some parts of the movie there where you can tell they wrote it with Harry Styles in mind, which is just funny to me that he was supposed to do this.
Harry Styles supposed to do that?
Yeah.
Like, how far along? Like, was he cast?
I don't remember if he was officially cast or if he was in final negotiations, but like that was their guy. Yeah.
And then he booked Don't Worry, Darling, was like, I don't need Little Mermaid. And then that happened.
Yeah. But anyways, I thought the pirate opening was great. We get in Under the Sea, and here's where my great things about the movie and bad things about the movie happen. Bad things about the movie: the CGI is not good. It's not horrible. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but like the one aspect that's really bad is the hair compositing. Like, and that may seem like, oh, you're being nitpicky. It's very bad.
It's distracting.
I'm not just talking like the tips of the hair. Like the hair on the head would move around.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like this compositing's pretty rough. And there was
I mean, that's been an issue, though, with, like...
Yeah, Aquaman had it.
If you look at Black Panther Wakanda Forever, that had it. The only one that didn't really have it is Avatar. But that's because it's Avatar. Yeah. And also, he gave everyone buzz cuts.
Yeah, true.
Because James Cameron's probably on set and was like, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it's... that was pretty distracting. And just, I know stylistically it was probably easier to go with, but I didn't love that without the hair... You wouldn't even think they were underwater without some bubbles. Like, there'd be bubbles every so often, like in the background, like, we're in the ocean.
Yeah, it was like kind of green screen almost, like flat kind of backdrop. I think about the CGI, though, and here's where I'm conflicted on it, because I think that everything... And again, I know making things dark is the trick to make it look better. And when it was dark, it looked fine to me. Like, I thought Ursula's cave looked really good.
Yeah.
I thought everything, like, on land with the ships and everything, I thought that all looked good.
And the sets looked great.
It was like when you get to the sequences of, like, the bright ocean, so, like, under the sea. The thing is, all these movies are always so kind of gray and drab, especially if you look at, like, Lion King, and I know that's in the desert, but, like, could have some life to it. I think I almost prefer for it to have been bright and tried than to just be another dark, at least they tried something there. So I kind of give it a little leeway. Not the hair, though. The hair was
like,
distracting.
Like, more than once it pulled me out of the movie. Yeah. Where I was like, wow. But what I will give it, though, that I didn't think I would like was the designs of Flounder and Sebastian. At first, they're very like, oh, that's very different than what it was. Yeah. But after 5 minutes, I didn't care and I was used to it. Like,
I think Flounder just bothered me most just because it was...
Because he was very animated.
He was very animated, but still
original.
Very realistic in this one, even. Like, he looked like a fish, but it was still cartoon. Like, it was very...
Yeah, but like...
jarring.
Yeah. He was the one that was the most unfitting.
Yeah.
But... After 5 minutes of them being in the movie, I was like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. And then the rest of the movie, I wasn't bothered.
I think my biggest thing with that, though, is like if you look at the sequences, like Under the Sea and just throughout it, there's these kind of creatures that are abstract. Yeah. Right? Like there's that squid that kind of has like the mermaid fins and stuff. And when you go to Ursula's cave, there's like things with like big eye, like one big eye and stuff like that. It's like, okay, well, they're already introducing fake creatures. So why couldn't have Flounder just been that? And that could have been a design thing, a budget thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sebastian didn't bother me too much, though.
Yeah. And I thought
I think that was just because it was the best performance in the movie.
And I thought all the vocal performances were great.
Yes.
I thought they were all great. And now let's get into more of the performances.
Yes.
I mispronounced her name in the Out of the Theater review. Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Halle Bailey was fantastic.
Yes.
Like
Ariel,
as Ariel. Not only in the, I mean, that girl can sing, which we knew from the trailers.
Yeah.
Not only from that, her nonverbal acting when she gets on land was exceptional. And I will say, I thought the actor playing Prince Eric, I thought he was good on his own. Them together, the chemistry was electric between them. Like, you really felt that connection between those two.
I think out of all these live action kind of remakes of things, I think that's the one that I felt the most like chemistry in, and this one had, I feel like, the most heart as well across of that.
Yeah. And and even like, okay, Melissa McCarthy crushed it. She was great.
I mean, you knew that from the trailer. Yeah, the thing is, she didn't do anything different. You know, she was pretty much exactly the same Ursula, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
But even like down to the voice, like her voice is already like, you see it and you're like, yeah, this makes sense why they cast her.
And also, I was worried going in that it was going to be too jokey, Melissa McCarthy. There's 3 jokes and they're all funny.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, all right, this is perfect. And also, this is a bit random, but I was talking to Nathan Hausman, a friend of mine at work, and he brought up because like the actress who plays Ursula when she's on land later in the movie, my friend Nathan was like, she was great, but like should have been Aubrey Plaza, and I was like, oh my god,
that would have been funny.
But that actress was great.
She was good. I looked up like her IMDb because I was like, she been in? She hasn't really been in much, and I'm like, well, she came in and she was like,
she took that opportunity and was like, I'm gonna crush this.
Everyone in this movie who even had a small part, like just gave it 100%. Like watching it again, there was a line. And it's stupid. It's literally just one of King Triton's bodyguards.
I know exactly where you're
going. And he just goes,
this.
I got the crab, sir.
Yeah.
But he says it and like drops Sebastian in this way. And I'm like, he's like, I got one line.
Yeah, I'm eating this.
I'm making an impression.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was great. But going into more of the story, I liked most of the additions. I'm sorry, we're going to disagree. I didn't like Eric's song.
I loved Eric's song.
I didn't like Eric's song.
So for those that don't know, one, Prince Eric has a song now.
Yeah.
And also a lot of the new additions and new lyrics and new songs were written by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yes.
And some of them, you know that for a fact. And then some are just good.
Yeah. So I didn't enjoy Eric's song. I understand the placement of the song in the movie. Like, I didn't have a problem with the editing of where it was at. Yeah. Like, I thought that was fine. Because that's my problem I have with a lot of musical movies is like, okay, editing-wise, pacing-wise, this song does not fit. And I thought the song placement and where it was great. I didn't like the song at all.
I liked the song, and I think I liked it because, one, we need more power ballads in these movies. It was giving Zac Efron in High School Musical 2. He had a bet on it moment. It was like,
okay, that's funny.
It was like Kristoff's song in Frozen 2, Lost in the Woods. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm all about this. Give the princes more songs.
Yeah. I really enjoyed, because like they redo a lot of the classic moments. Yeah. Some of them, I will say, some of them felt arbitrary, and where it's just like they're doing this because they feel like they have to, and I'm just like, and you could tell that almost the acting was almost just kind of like, all right, this is that scene where that we have to do. But then there are some where they're like, okay, these are iconic moments from a Disney movie, so let's do them correctly, like the
shot with the water, she's on the rock,
and like and the part of your world, part was unreal. Go ahead.
Oh, I think the scenes with her and Javier Bardem are when I most felt like we got to do this.
Yeah, like this is arbitrary. Yeah.
They didn't try to do anything kind of different with that. It's still very much just controlling father and daughter.
And I will say, Javier Bardem, one of the best actors in the world, didn't love his performance in the movie. There's an emotional beat at the end of the film where he's like, oh, I'm Javier Bardem. And like he crushes it at the end of the movie.
I think his best acting scenes are when he's just sticking out of the water and it's just Javier Bardem in the wig. Yeah. And it's not composited hair and a fin. And I'm like, I can't. Yeah. My brain would not allow me to connect those two. Yeah. So I think every scene with him underwater just bothered me. But he does hit that beat at the beats at the end. Yeah.
And the movie plays out pretty much as it does in the animated form with some additions, some additional scenes with the two of them.
I liked the third act.
Yes.
Like Kaiju Ursula.
Oh, yeah. Always
which they
great.
do, which I honestly, part of me was like, are they going to do it?
Yeah.
How's that going to look? But I liked the art direction of that scene.
I really, really enjoyed Scuttlebutt. And listen, it's one of those songs
I liked Scuttlebutt
where you're
too.
you're gonna love it,
yeah,
or you're gonna hate it. And it's definitely Lin-Manuel.
Mm-hmm.
Bless him. I enjoyed the song.
For better or worse.
Yep, I enjoyed the song. And I thought Awkwafina did great as Scuttle.
Mm-hmm.
And the change to Scuttle didn't bother me.
Yeah, it didn't bother me too much. I mean, it makes sense to give Scuttle more scenes if it was a good thing.
Yeah, and overall, I enjoy Little Mermaid. Mm-hmm. I'd say it's probably upper middle tier of the Disney live-action remakes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's not Lion King bad, but it's not Jungle Book great.
No, I mean, it hits all the emotional beats it wants you to. There's really good chemistry between Ariel and Eric. The songs all are very well. And that was another kind of critique that I've had about these live-action ones, is a lot of the pacing of the songs is also weird. Like, things are kind of spread out. They're talking more with spaces with the words, and I feel like it's to try to keep the CG longer and not have to cut quick. They're like, no, this takes 10 hours. You're looking at it.
Yeah.
But I thought they all hit, and Melissa McCarthy crushes Poor Unfortunate Souls.
She does. And I thought that the only things I don't like about the movie are things I don't like about the original, or I don't like about Disney plots in general, which is just like, you got to get True Love's Kiss in 3 days, and it's like, okay. Just like, you got to roll with the Disney punches.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't Disney remaking the movie, the plot would just be different. Yeah. And that would be interesting to see. But, you got to, like I said, you got to roll with the Mickey Mouse lefts and rights. But yeah, overall, solid little movie.
Yeah, definitely, if they're going to keep making these, which they have no reason not to because they make money.
Yep.
I want them at a minimum at this level.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
I think, obviously, they can't all be Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Which I think is still by far their best one.
Agreed.
But, minimum this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely.
Yes.
What did you guys think of the 2023 version of The Little Mermaid? Let us know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next movie.